Welcome to the NNBN podcast, talking with businesses, charities and organisations across Northamptonshire.
Sponsored by Poppy Design Studio. Find us at poppydesignstudio.com.
So welcome to the new podcast channel. Delighted to be here, and we'll be bringing you news from around the county as well as interviews with guests and what guests we've got lined up. We're going to take you back to NN Startup earlier this year. I'll be joined by Angela Turton from Action Coach Oakham and Kettering.
If a business plan is done well, it's not the document that's important, but the process of actually preparing the plan.
You'll be able to hear Mark Ferguson from More Fire PR talking to me from NN Startup Day earlier this year, talking about the importance of public relations and what we know as PR.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody, don't get me wrong. I mean, some companies that I initially meet with you, they kind of expect you to just go out and say, right, do PR for me. It really doesn't work that way.
And we'll be sharing various news from around the county on this podcast, including, stay tuned actually, there's some information coming up about business grants that you could apply for here in Northamptonshire. Very shortly though, I'll be welcoming my first guest to this podcast, and that's Andy Donnachie from the CPD Group based in Rothwell, just near Kettering. Looking forward to talking to Andy about CPD.
You're absolutely right. You know, some people find it a bit of a chore to go through these things. So that's why we designed the mechanism and the way we have through the QR codes, is to eliminate, you know, for people like yourselves as well, putting on the event, it's the administration's all gone.
So welcome to the relaunch of the podcast. It's great to be here, and it's great to be able to share this information with you from what's going on around Northamptonshire via the channel. Really looking forward to what the future brings as well. We've got loads lined up over the next couple of months as well, with interviews, with guests, with content, with information as well, and really looking forward to it. But let's move straight to our first guest. It's Andy Donnachie from the CPD Group based in Rothwell. Andy, how are you doing?
How are you doing, Simon? Nice to be here. Thanks very much for inviting us along.
Yeah, really good actually. Thanks for coming along as well and talking to us a little bit about what the CPD Group is. So do you want to tell us a little bit of background to who you are and what you do, and what you do, basically?
Absolutely. We are the CPD Group. We are a CPD accreditation service. So we accredit all things CPD, whether that's training courses, podcasts like this, you know, anything that shares information, all the way through to articles, you know, that people have put out that have educational value. We class that as an editorial, you know, and we provide accreditation services for training providers, CPD providers who are out there, and, you know, giving them the mechanism to provide CPD credits to their learners, to their delegates, to whoever's, you know, they're supplying their training to.
Yeah, fantastic. And for anybody who doesn't really understand CPD, do you want to go into a little bit more in depth about it? Because some people just don't get it, do they? Yeah,
that's very true. You know, there's a lot of people out there that still don't understand what CPD even stands for, let alone what it is. So CPD stands for Continuing Professional Development. So it's about, you know, once you've got your formal education, every bit of training that you do to keep up to date within your industry, to, you know, any changes that might have happened in that industry or legislation changes or anything like that, and you sit on training to keep yourself up to date, that's CPD. So any events that you go to as well, industry related, you know, it might be that you go to a massive networking event like yourselves put on, you know, things like that, where you had the business minister in recently. You know, things like that are educational. You know, people are going there to help push their knowledge in their particular industries, to help them understand things a little bit better. It's all CPD. Okay, so we recognize all of those things and provide CPD accreditation for that.
And the sort of people that you're actually working with, sort of clients that you're working with, do you want to go into a bit more in depth in that? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, the main people that we work with are those people that deliver CPD training. You know, they're a big part of our network. So they're training providers. You know, we have a lot of people that put on CPD events around the country, well, around the world, to be quite honest. So, you know, anything that they that gives out information, all these different kinds of organizations. We work with all of them. It's such a wide range, to be honest, because CPD crosses so many boundaries.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm glad you mentioned the world as well, because you are a global company.
Absolutely. We're international, and we're very proud to do so. We have an office over in Dubai as well. So, we like to keep everything that we do is on an international level, so we don't just do one size fits all for the UK. Everything we do is international based, so everything that we put out there is designed to fit all the needs of everybody across the world.
So you're based in Northamptonshire, very much in the heart of Northamptonshire as well. And how long have you guys been there?
We've been in Rothwell now, so a little town, near Kettering here in Northamptonshire. So we've been there for, I'd say about 3 years now. We've based ourselves in the Manor House in the centre of Rothwell. So, we like to keep things local. We are, Northamptonshire business, and we're very proud to be so.
Yeah, fantastic. And until we met you, we didn't really know about you. So it's fantastic to have you guys, on the doorstep here, a global company that's actually, making so much difference and change across the world with some of the clients you're actually working with. And, we're delighted that we've hooked up with you guys as well to be able to offer what we offer, and we can accredit the networking and the events. And you touched on the Small Business Minister meeting that we held in March. And that was fantastic, because obviously that brought businesses together to hear from the Minister, and everyone there had a QR code they could scan, so they could actually download the certificate themselves. So do you want to go into a little bit more in-depth into how all that works?
Yeah, absolutely. That's our events accreditation. So again, those types of events that have learning, sharing information, it's all CPD. People don't generally go to these events for the good of their health. They go because they want to learn to help them progress in their business. So we see that as CPD, simple as that. So we provide different event providers with QR code mechanism that they can simply display at their event. We'll build a certificate template for you with your accreditation attached, so that when your delegates scan that QR code, they can download a digital certificate, all for free, to represent the fact that they've been to the event, and they can use that as evidence of their ongoing CPD to their professional body or employer, whoever needs to see it, to be honest.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, the feedback we got on the day was very positive. There was QR codes, as I said, all over the table, so people could make it quite easy for them. Some of the events that we organise in as well, we've always got the QR code at the end that's got the CPD branding and the badge that we've got accredited on the bottom of our website that's there as well, so people can actually see it. And it makes it easy for people as well, because we know what people are like when they say they're going to do these things. They need it easy, don't they? And you guys make it really easy.
Well, that's it. It is about making life easy for people. You're absolutely right. Some people find it a bit of a chore to go through these things. So that's why we designed the mechanism and the way we have through the QR codes. It's to eliminate, for people like yourselves as well, putting on the event. It's the administration's all gone. So you don't need to produce the certificates to send them out to delegates and emails or expensive paper. Saving the trees is one of the things that we're very keen on. Environmental, keeping things sustainable. So trying to get paperless is essential. So providing these opportunities digitally for everybody at the scan on their phone, nice and simple, keeps things really fresh for everyone.
Keep up to date with news from around Northamptonshire by downloading the NNBN app. Search NNBN on your mobile today and learn what's happening locally.
Interesting, because people don't see networking really as a way of CPD or anything, do they? They normally see it as a way of meeting new people and things like that. But you're always learning when you go out to business networks and things like that. And that's great. Well, that's why we wanted to, while we were happy to work with you guys to actually you offer that as well. So thank you, as I say.
No problem at all.
So Andy, for anyone that's listening to us on the podcast, obviously over your right-hand shoulder is a great big sign that says CPD TV. But anybody that's obviously watching this on the video can actually see it. But do you want to tell us a little bit about what it's all about?
Absolutely. I mean, the CPD Group, one of our biggest philosophies is about helping different organizations. They don't necessarily need to be our customers. It's actually helping people out there to understand what CPD is. How do you get involved? What's the benefits of it? Why should you get involved with CPD accreditation? So we've put together a YouTube channel called CPD TV, where we put videos together. We put information, kind of snippets together for people just to help them understand what's out there, what's available to them, why they need it, what's the benefits of getting involved. Yeah, so we love to do all of that kind of thing. On our website as well, we've got a very, very useful blog. So we've got our in-house marketing team that put together lots of useful information. So visit the blog, have a look. You'll be able to see everything that we're putting out there. You'll find it really, really useful, and it might answer a lot of the questions that you've been asking yourself for a while. So, go and have a look. But if you don't find the information on the blog or on the TV channel, then, give us a ring, get in touch with us, use our WhatsApp. We're out there on WhatsApp for people to contact us. We're very open. We want to talk to people. We're very transparent, and we're here to help essentially. So, get in touch, live chat on the website, anything, get in touch, ask us the questions, and you'll get the information straight away.
And looking at your blog on your website, there's some great articles on there. I mean, one of them was around should you put CPD on your CV, which I think, wow, no one's ever really talking about this stuff. Absolutely. So actually to see that was quite credible. And also there was one around becoming a CPD approved provider. So there's information out there for people that are looking to become a CPD provider as well. Absolutely. Which is, it's what people want to see, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's really useful information. It's things that people might be thinking about, but have never really had anybody to approach to ask. So that's one of our biggest things that we like to do, is to be out there. We are available to people. There is a human at the end of all of our communication channels. We don't use bots or anything like that because we find them awful when we're using other people's websites. So why would we put it on our own? So have a look at the blog, look at that information. It is really useful, and also get in touch with us. If there's information that you would like us to put together, tell us. We're happy to do it. We're happy to put a video together just to give you that information. Because if you're thinking about it, there's guarantees that other people are thinking about it too. So just drop us a line. Let us know what you want us to produce, and we're happy to do so.
And talk about your social media. You're on quite a few social media channels as well. So obviously you're broadcasting the message out there and getting the message out there about what you're doing and how you're helping and adding value. But is there a preferred platform you guys like to be followed on, or do you prefer to, you're not really worried, are you?
No, not worried at all. We use all these various platforms just, as you say, to get the message out, because we do understand that people have their favorite ways of communicating. So we like to have a presence everywhere, just so that people can communicate with us, whatever makes them feel comfortable, because again, we're here to help. Come and talk to us.
So currently we can find you on YouTube, as you've mentioned, with the TV, but you've also got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram,
Instagram, all of them,
TikTok.
Well, we do have TikTok, yeah, but the team keep making me do silly videos on it. So, it's not my favorite, but, we do have TikTok, yeah.
And now you know why we're not on TikTok for that reason, because I think, TikTok is great. Let's be honest, it's a lot of comedy on there, but
Absolutely.
I think sometimes it's about appealing to where your market is. But people do look for the human element of what's behind the brand as well. I think you guys are showing that very well at the moment.
Well, thank you. That is something that we're trying to portray. We are human, we are down to earth, and we're not stuffy in any way. We're not suited and booted all the time. It's not what we're about. We're a very much, a people company. And we want people to come and talk to us. That is the biggest message I want to get across. Just come and talk to us, because we've got the answers to the questions that you might have. So, take advantage.
So what makes you guys different from other companies that are out there that are offering the CPD accreditation service?
Well, we're different on many levels, I'll be honest with you. One of them is transparency. We're very, very open about what we do. We are quite clear about our pricing. It's all on our website. You can easily find out everything that it's going to cost you before you even contact us. Again, get in touch. We'll be able to tell you that, no problem. There's nothing to hide. And another thing is we accredit absolutely every single course that we see. We assess every single piece of material that comes through. That is different to a general blanket accreditation approach that is used by other organizations in the industry. So we have our accredited framework, which is easily accessible on our website as well. And that is a bit of a guideline. It's our internationally recognized framework that people can have a look at, so they can understand what their courses are going to be assessed against as and when they submit them to us. It's very clear. It shows them exactly every single element their assessor is going to be looking at when they are assessing their course materials. So we do advise everybody to go to the website, get familiar with that accredited framework, and then use that when you're creating your course materials to make sure that you've got everything in place. And that should hopefully help you sail through the accreditation process, no problem.
I noticed on your website you've got an advisory panel.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you're looking for people to join the advisory panel?
We've just currently done a round of recruitment for that. So we have everybody in place that we're looking for at the moment. The advisory panel are extremely important to us. They assess everything we do essentially and make sure that we're on the right track. We're asking the right questions. We are assessing the right things. So, they regularly review our accredited framework and make sure that we are doing things the way we should be. They're completely independent. So, they give us valuable advice and we act upon that as and when we can. Okay, so, we really do use their expertise in their various industries, their various specialisms to help advise us on what we're doing.
So if anybody is currently using a CPD provider, how would they transition to yourselves? What's the process look like?
Well, basically, we do respect the fact that people have been working with other accreditation services out there and they've been through the process before, so if they have gained accreditation in the past and they're looking to transfer over to our service, then just let us know that as part of your application. If you could submit to us your original accreditation certificate from your previous provider and, the kind of information that you shared with them, we will still be looking for a couple of additional pieces to make sure that we've got all the information we need, but we should be able to fast track your application, no problem at all, because you've already been through this process with another provider. Okay, so we must respect that. You've been through this work. You've done a lot of work to get your courses accredited in the past. So come to us, talk to us, and we'll be able to help you fast track your accreditation from that point.
And how sort of long does it take to transition across normally?
Well, when someone comes on board, we ask them to go through our approved provider application in the first instance. So that is a very, very simple process, but it gives us a chance, to get to know your organization better. We ask to see policies and procedures, but if you haven't got those in place at the time, we've got lots of templates that you can download from the system, all for free, to adopt and to, start to work by within your company. So that process takes, roughly about 24 to 48 hours to go through. And then once you come on board to have your courses accredited with us, we work on an average of 2 to 3 week turnaround. That very much depends, obviously, on how big your courses are, because we have to assess everything that's within it. Also, how many courses you send us, so there's a few variables, but we do say average 2 to 3 week turnaround for our accreditation services.
The sort of clients you like to work with, is there a particular industry or anything like that you enjoy working with, or is it just...
Everybody and everyone. It's not a problem to us at all. We accredit across all sectors. Okay, so whether you're a one-man band business or you're a university or a large corporation, we're happy to work with you. We've got mechanisms in place. We've got accreditation services in place that suits everybody's needs. So, again, come and talk to us. We're happy to help you and advise you on the best possible solution for you.
And geographically, you're not worried where they are in the world because you're global. So
absolutely, we're global, and everything we do is digital. So we do everything through our bespoke online portal. We have our own in-house development team. So, our systems are built specifically for us. So we don't have to kind of shoehorn in things here, there, and everywhere to fit, an off-the-shelf piece of software. So everything is designed to make everything streamlined and as efficient as possible and as user-friendly as possible, of course.
Andy, how can people get in contact with you guys if they want to know more about, how you can help them?
Yep. Phone us. If you go to our website, we've got a phone number there, which is, again, linked straight through to our team. There's always somebody on hand to help you. We're available from 8:30 to 5:30, Monday to Thursday. We do the 4-day working week currently, so we have Fridays off, which is very nice for us. But again, the website, we have a live chat feature, human behind that as well, no bots involved. We've got our Instagram, we've got Facebook. You can contact us in any way that makes you comfortable. So we put ourselves out there. So as I keep saying, take advantage of that. If you've got questions, come and see us. We're happy to help.
Fantastic. Well, really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming to join us and coming to talk to us about what you guys get up to.
It's great, Simon. It's great to be part of your network, and thanks very much for inviting us into this. We love doing things with our local teams. So yeah, thanks very much for having us.
There we go. That was Andy from the CPD Group. Do visit their website, thecpd.group, and have a look and see what's going on. Now, next up, I've got Mark Ferguson from Molfire PR talking to us all about PR, and that's what he spoke to us about on NN Startup Day earlier this year. So stay tuned. We'll be back after this. Small Business Saturday is back again this year and celebrating its 11th anniversary on Saturday the 2nd of December. And to support local businesses, West Northamptonshire Council are offering free parking across all Northampton Town Centre car parks on this day, in addition to free parking in Daventry, Towcester and Brackley Town Centres. If you're not familiar with the campaign, Small Business Saturday aims to highlight small business success and encourages consumers to shop local and support small businesses in their communities all year round. The National Day itself takes place on the first Saturday in December each year, but the campaign aims to have a lasting impact on all small businesses across the UK. So there you go. If you're looking for something for Christmas, looking for a treat, looking for something to do on Saturday the 2nd of December, pop down to Northampton, Daventry, Towcester, Brackley Town Centres. Free parking courtesy of West Northamptonshire Council. So there you go. Saturday 2nd of December, Small Business Saturday. Go and explore in your community. Now, the next guest I've got for you on the podcast is Mark Ferguson, who joined me for NN Startup Day earlier this year, talking about his business, Morefire PR. And of course, I asked him the question, Mark, how are you?
I'm really good, thanks. All the better for talking with you, Simon.
Okay, that's the first I've heard that for a long time, but no, listen, it's great to get together, and especially as we're talking about starting a business and startup businesses, and of course your journey as well, because you've been going for a good few years. But do you want to give us a bit of an introduction to yourself and what you do, and how you found business to where you are today?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Mark Ferguson, as you say, from Morefire Public Relations. We're based over in Pytchley in Northamptonshire. My history, I guess, goes back to the days when I was originally a journalist and an editor, mainly on business publications, covering a whole variety of different subjects. I then worked for several quite big organizations where I was doing stuff like, scientific research and communicating around, universities and all those different types of areas. So I had a really big introduction into the world of PR, worked quite extensively on that, did a lot of interaction with media over the years. And then I kind of got to a stage where I thought, I really feel like I want to just go out on my own and start doing my own business. I was fed up of blaming the bosses for all their stupid mistakes. I thought it was time to make my own stupid mistakes. And so started up Morefire PR. And, essentially what we do is we work with our clients to communicate effectively, to talk to their audiences, the people who matter to them. Every organization, company, business has a narrative. They've got a story to tell, and it's our job really to help them do that. And sometimes we do it through their websites, working with external media. We do video production, copywriting, crisis communications, which is the stuff I can't talk very much about publicly. And it's been a real ride and a journey up and down. And this month I've been celebrating my 11-year anniversary doing all this crazy work that I do. And the latest, just to give you one example, the latest thing I've been working on, I've just come back from spending a week in Morocco, working with academics at a university, Al Aqawan, near Ifrain, which is a really interesting place. And I've been helping teach their staff about how to better communicate with and engage with industry, because it's something they needed support with. So there's never a dull moment. There's always stuff going on. And as I say, it's been a really interesting journey. And I can't believe that 11 years have suddenly flown by.
Yeah, well, fantastic. And congratulations on 11 years, because some people don't make it past sort of year one or year two, do they? But 11 years, fantastic achievement. So well done on that. And I think with PR, I mean, obviously people don't often understand the need or the benefits to it. What would you say is the main sort of benefits to PR within what you've seen over the years, but for those that really don't understand the benefit to it?
Well, I suppose the ironic thing is often you'll hear people using PR in negative terms. They'll say, "Oh, it's not PR." We want something of substance, not just something that's PR and spin. But I guess there's a couple of points to begin with there. What we do, public relations, two-way engagement. Think of the editorial section of the media. So if you're reading a newspaper or a magazine or watching a TV program or whatever, it's the content, it's the narrative. It's not so much the paid for advertising that everyone wants to kind of click on and skip through or gets bored by. So we have to really work at our business of finding an interesting story that our clients have got to tell, and then we have to tell it in an effective and compelling way. So when I'm pitching out to media, for example, I have to come up with a narrative. I'm doing a piece on virtual reality at the moment, and Apple have just released a new, ridiculously expensive, as always with Apple, VR headset. So we can use that as kind of like a hook to springboard off of. But also we're talking about stuff which I hope is a little bit more compelling, which is actually sexual harassment in virtual reality, would you believe? Yeah, and it's the kind of thing where it's going to stop you in your tracks and think, that's interesting. How can somebody be sexually harassed in virtual reality? We're going to draw you in. We're going to make you want to read on or view more or engage with a particular organization. But going back to your point, I guess, about adding value, imagine that you're, I don't know, a light bulb company or something. Okay, there's loads of light bulb companies out there, all selling light bulbs and saying that we're great and all this kind of stuff. But if we're working with a light bulb company, we're going a bit above and beyond just purely the sales element of that. They're going to have some news as well. They're going to have stories to tell. They're going to have a brand to discuss. They're going to have a lot more engaging content. And at the end of the day, what's that going to do for them? It's going to make them stand out in the market and be different from all the other light bulb selling companies who are just purely there for sales. We're talking about the heart, the brand of an organization, and how you can communicate all of those standout qualities. Make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I think some people, it's a real area I think a lot of people don't really explore too much, is it, PR? And we're sort of naturally very good at not talking about ourselves and not talking about the positives about what we've achieved and the positives messages that could be portrayed and sent out there. And I think that's where a lot of people really struggle with PR, isn't it? And that's where someone like yourself can actually help guide people on that news and information that should be shared.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody. Don't get me wrong. I mean, some companies that I initially meet with you, they kind of expect you to just go out and say, right, do PR for me. It really doesn't work that way. Because if I'm PRing with a particular organization, I need to sit down with their people and say, okay, what's the story? What have we got here that's newsworthy? Who are your target audiences? And that's always the most important starting point. Who is it that you're trying to talk to? What do you want them to find out about or take away from your messaging? How do you want them to react to the type of messages that you're putting out there? So, I do encounter occasionally some people who say, oh, just go off and do my PR. And I say, I can't do that. It's got to be a two-way conversation. And as I say, it's really about amplifying the company's, people, personalities, their brand. What is it that they're actually doing that's having an impact or making a difference? So it's really kind of like a nitty-gritty conversation. I do an awful lot of my work is with universities and educational institutions. And one of the great things about those type of operations is that they're really kind of a microcosm of society. So they do everything. They do applied science, social sciences, the arts, the humanities, a whole variety of different sectors. In other words, they've always got lots to say. I guess where I come in and make a difference is really, as you started off, Simon, they don't often quite know how to say it or where to get started. So, we sit down and we talk this through and we develop communication plans. We say, this is how you can make a difference. So sometimes it's, I mentioned about video production. It's sitting down with some of my clients and we develop a raft of videos where they're talking to camera about what they do and how they make a difference to people's lives. Did something with the University of Lincoln not so long ago, and they were talking about how technology could help people with dementia and other medical problems live at home more comfortably. So, again, it's kind of like uncovering those interesting stories and getting them out into the world because, no matter how interesting the work is that you do, if nobody knows about it, you're going to kind of run out of clients pretty quickly, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a key thing there. And even just what you talk about there about you're using technology to help with people that are struggling and suffering from dementia. I'd never thought of that. So that's where PR can effectively come in and actually, help to share that message. And we can actually understand that from, something that we're not really immediately connected with to actually understand more about what it looks like. So I think that's a great example there of where PR is beneficial. And as I said, I think the the challenge we face in this country is we don't talk about our products and services enough. And, we do need PR experts to come in and actually engage with people to actually help share that message. So that's great to hear. Now, talking about your 11-year journey to where you are today, what was it like when you first set out in business? Would you, put it this way, rewinding the clock, would you do it again?
Yeah. I think I would. I'm kind of like a wild animal now that would be hard to retrain to come and sit into the kind of the old office environments that I used to function in on a very 9-to-5 basis. I mean, it was scary. Don't get me wrong. It's really quite frightening going out on your own because a lot of things go through your mind. You think, does anyone care about what I do? Is anyone interested in the service or the product that I provide? How am I going to make money out of it? How am I going to pay the bills? Am I going to be happy? A whole raft of different highs and lows go racing through your mind. And, it was scary, and, it still can be scary sometimes today. But I think that, I decided to make the plunge and take a chance with this, because the other thing that you've got to remember is that when you're starting your own business, if it were to go horribly wrong, okay, nobody's interested, you don't go anywhere, you don't make anything with it, it's not the end of the world. You can try something perhaps for 6 months, you can really give it your all, and if it doesn't pan out, you can always go back to putting in the job applications and start somewhere else. So I guess that's something I'd really like to try and get across to some of your viewers, that we all get frightened, we all get scared by these things, but believe in yourself, really kind of give it a go, be brave, surround yourself with good people, friends, associates, and, maybe you want to dip a toe in the water to start with, but at some point, throw yourself into it, make it, transfer from it being your side hustle into your everyday full-time thing. And, that's something that I certainly have here now. More Fire PR has become my work life, whereas initially it was just kind of like a bit of a pipe dream. And, after 11 years, I'm hoping I can push forward and, crack another 10 or 11. Who knows?
Yeah, well, fantastic. We look forward to following the journey and celebrating the 20th anniversary at some point, and obviously 9 years away. But you're quite right. I think, taking that step could be quite daunting. And, 13 years or 14 years actually now for me. And it's not easy. Failure is not a problem to me because, you fall over. I've fallen over many times. You pick yourself up and carry on. But I think providing you learn from those challenges and those events that happen along the way that help you to, not or not repeat those mistakes, I should say. Because we all make mistakes, don't we? And I think it's the learning that's more valuable than the actual mistake itself. So,
yeah,
so
I think. Yeah, sorry, I was going to say, I think the crux of it is think, do your homework initially. Think about what it is that you want to do, or the service or product that you want to provide, and look at who's out there already doing that kind of thing. How you started off by saying, how can you add value? Well, who's the right audience, the right target for you? Who's going to pay for the kind of operation that you do? And one thing that I did when I very first started is I started fishing around, like talking to people that I already knew or some that I didn't, and said, look, this is the kind of thing I'm looking at doing. Do you see the value in that? Would you pay for that? How much would you pay for it? Is it something that you don't have a need for? All those kinds of questions. And the great thing about that exercise is sometimes when you take that approach, you actually pick up some customers along the way as well, because they go, oh, no, I would pay for that. And would you be willing to do that for me? And I'm very lucky in that I've still got several clients who started this journey with me, and have been brilliant and stuck with me all along the way. But, there's a lot of reasons for doing this kind of entrepreneurial type journey. Sometimes it's because we really want to challenge ourselves and try something new. Other times it's because we might be really fed up of where our, career and work journey is going, and we want to kind of escape from that. But, go in, eyes open and with a smile on your face, and don't worry about the failures and the hiccups. Just keep trying to push forward and keep trying to get money coming in through the door and pay the bills, And, as I mentioned before as well, be happy. because we really want to be happy at work. And, I talk to a lot of people at the moment, and, some of them aren't having the best time with their workplace. Post-pandemic, all sorts of things have happened. So it's great what NNBN does as well, create that really nice community around that encourages people and gives them a network to talk to, so good for you, and keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, any network I find is valuable to us all, really. I mean, me and networks go back 14 years now, and I think I think you need to engage in a network just to keep your own personal journey moving, your own growth going, but also to keep up to date and learn and meet people, but also be inspired by others as well. And I think that's key as well, isn't it? Because you are on this journey, and it can be quite a lonely place when you run a business, and you need to surround yourself with like-minded people that are, all driving forwards. And that's how we've met, through the networks, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've had kind of conversations and coffees for years, and, shared all of our war stories and, been through these highs and lows. But that's what's great. It's good to talk. And as you say, it can be a lonely experience. I mean, you might be part of a bigger team. That can be a scary process as well, particularly if you're in charge, because you've got to try and keep everyone's salaries paid and make sure you've got like an office roof over your heads, or working remotely, or whatever it might be that you're doing. But, it's all about, for me, I think it's positivity. You might get some knocks and pushbacks on various aspects of what you're doing. But, spend some time, if you can. My suggestion would be spend some time if you can, every week, just trying to market the business and talk to people and look for those new opportunities and clients. Don't get overly complacent on maybe just like one or two sources of income for yourself. Keep pushing out there, keep staying positive, and keep discussing and expanding that network.
Brilliant. Well, some great words of advice and great words of wisdom there as well, Mark. Thank you very much for joining us today. And if anybody wants to get in contact with you about what you do and your services and everything, what's the best way that they can actually get in contact with you?
I think the easiest thing to do is just Google Morefire PR, or look us up at morefirepr.co.uk. You'll find all of our contact details on there, and I'm always willing to chat and help out, and give a consultation to people if they're looking for communication support advice, and we'll go forward from there, onwards and upwards.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for joining us, Mark. All the best, and we'll catch up soon.
Lovely. Cheers. Thanks, Simon.
So that was Mark Ferguson from Morefire PR, and Mark is not wrong. We've always had many a war story conversation about business and everything, and great guy to talk to as well. So do check out his website, see what he gets up to. Okay, so I said right at the beginning we're going to be sharing some news and information from around the county, and we've got some grant funding information which we're going to share with you now. So Northamptonshire Council have launched a new grant scheme to help businesses invest in measures to increase energy efficiency, move to a lower carbon economy, and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Small to medium-sized businesses can now apply for grants between £1,000 and £5,000 towards 50% of project costs, with the remaining amount to be match funded by the business. So if you have got projects going on within your business, which things like lighting and heating controls, insulation, energy efficient machinery and equipment purchases for things like maybe air compressors, solar panels, heat pumps, biomass boilers, energy storage, maybe things like building energy management systems, do get in contact with Northants Council. I can tell you exactly where you need to go to in a minute, because as I'm reading this information I actually need to look it up. But what I will say, why I'm looking it up, it is key that we actually look at this. It really is key that we start to focus on the climate and everything that's going on, because we obviously never really talk about the future. We now need to look at the future and work together of how we can actually get a lot of this in place ahead of net zero deadlines and things like that. But anyway, I've got the information for you. What you need to do, go to northants.gov.uk, have a look at communities, assets and grants. So you'll see it on the website. It's a community assets grants, and that's within the community safety and emergencies section of the website. And then you'll find something called NND Carbon Business Grant Scheme. So it's NND Carbon Business Grant Scheme. Failing that, if you can't find it, please do get in contact with us here at NNBN, and we will share this information with you. Just drop me an email, hello@nnbn.co.uk, and we'll get this information to you. So grants basically up to 50% of project costs. That 50% means that you've got to fund the remainder, but which is obviously 50%. So if you've got a project worth £2,000, there may be £1,000 you may be able to apply for. It's all been funded by the government share prosperity fund as well, and grants are paid in arrears. So this means that you're going to need to pay out pay out for the purchase first and then recover the 50%. But obviously do look at the eligibility criteria, what can be funded, what can't be funded, and of course the terms and conditions. You will need to supply your year-end accounts, 3 quotations from potential suppliers. So basically have a look at the website, and the key thing to note on this is that it's all got to be applied for by the 15th of December. So we haven't got long if we're going to get these grants moving and into the north of the county. So do have a look at it. It's the NND Carbon Grant. Do contact me if you need more information, and we will get this information over to you. So, Monday the 4th of December, we are having our NNBN Christmas meetup. Wear your Christmas jumpers, have your photograph taken by Samantha Peel from Welly Pictures for a minimum donation of just £5 towards Save the Children. We're going to be meeting at 7 p.m. at the Northampton Town Centre Hotel in Silver Street. Please do come and join us for a bit of festive fun, but also chance to support Save the Children and help Samantha raise some money for this charity. If you want to know more information, go to our website, click on the events tab and book your free place. Free networking, opportunity to make a difference to a charity, and also on the Thursday the 7th, it's actually Christmas jumper day, which means that you get your social media picture ready with your Christmas jumper. Go to our website, nnbn.co.uk, visit the events page, book on today.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Now, this Wednesday, NN Climate takes place for I think it's the 3rd year running, actually. I think it's the 3rd year that Northants Council have put this on, but it's basically a virtual climate conference, and it's well worth attending. It's well worth going to and listening to some of the speakers throughout the day. It is recorded. It will be broadcast live on YouTube, but just to give you a flavour for what's coming up, there will be 3 sessions throughout the day with various speakers. Farming and sustainability, they'll be working towards our new green economy, and youth and community. So if you want to find out more information, go to northnorthants.gov.uk/climate. That's northnorthants.gov.uk/climate. Again, if you want to know more information about it, go to our NNBN website and find out more on there as well, or contact us directly, hello@nnbn.co.uk, and we can send you the details. So have a look at it coming up this Wednesday, and tune in.
The importance of having a business coach and planning for the future is always an important aspect to starting a business. And joining me next is Angela Turton from Action Coach. Angela, welcome to NM Startup Day.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, and great to have you with us as we're going to be talking about various topics around starting a business. But let's start with an introduction from yourself. Do you want to tell us exactly who you are, what you do, and how you're helping your clients at the moment?
Yes, certainly. So my name is Angela Turton. I work with Rupert, my husband. We run a franchise which is Action Coach. We are business coaches. So what we do is we work with business owners and their teams to help them create the business they want, whether that is a business that works around other commitments they have, or world domination. So whichever way they want to go, we can help them get there. Usually clients work with us to improve their time, the money that they get in their back pocket, or how their team is working.
Yeah, fantastic. And it's great that you guys offer that service, because coaching is something that people kind of overlook sometimes, don't they? They think, oh, we don't need this. We know what we're doing. But reality, someone externally coming into a business and can actually really propel the business forward, can't it?
It can. And being a business owner is a very lonely place. It can be a very lonely place. I'm lucky I've got, a business partner and that helps. But when you're in business as the person in the top, quite often there's nobody to talk to about things. So just having an independent person to brainstorm ideas with, to learn a little bit more about, to actually sometimes just vent to, is great. And then what we can do with the people we work with is we hold them to account, because we've all been there. We've all said we're going to do something. It's all been the most important thing that we do for our business, but actually things get in the way, life gets in the way, and we don't do it. So we hold our clients to account. We say, because they know they're going to be talking to us, they often get that thing done that they needed to get done. So being just that uncompromising friend that will help them, it is very important in business.
It's great because obviously you're around a variety of businesses and a variety of clients, but you can also add value to a client from a different angle. Obviously there's confidentiality in place, but you can actually add experience that you've learned on your journey of being a coach to actually help move clients forward in maybe things they haven't thought of.
Yeah, so the basics of business is more or less the same. The nuances in each business will be completely different. But basically, you have to do sales and marketing. You have to get your operations department working. You have to get the money working and the finance working. And you have to look after your team. And once you've got those basic building blocks in place, you can then start developing your business. But so everybody has to look at those areas. And because we've been working with businesses across lots of different sectors, we can see where people need to improve, or we can help them just to give them some ideas of what other people have done, or maybe what we've done in the past. We've had lives before we've been in coaching, and therefore sometimes we can bring that experience into what our clients are trying to achieve as well.
Yeah, that's important to bring your own personal experience into it as well, especially if you've experienced a problem before, because I know 13 years of nearly 14 years of the roller coaster of self-employment is not easy. And I'm glad you touched on the isolation point there, because so many people are alone in business with that, that thought process of, am I making the right decision? Am I, doing things right? If not, who do I talk to? So you can fill that gap very well for business owners.
Yeah, it is something we see a lot about, people who are just so grateful to have somebody to talk to, about anything really, because they know it's not going to go any further. We obviously confidentiality is key. It's something that I've had all my professional life because of being an accountant. Confidentiality runs through the veins, as it were. But it's actually something that we take very seriously as well. So it's a safe place for people to be. They can talk about their own personal journey if they need to, and their business journey. And when you're a business owner, the two are quite closely linked, and anything that's going on in your personal life will affect your business life and vice versa. So yes, providing that safe space for our clients is vital.
Now, talking of starting a business, one of the things that many people don't look at is a business plan. They know they need to do it, but do you want to talk through why people need a business plan when they're actually starting out on a journey?
For those people who've been in corporate before they started their own business, they've probably seen the planning process, and it was a document that was produced annually, and then it just went in the bottom drawer. So it just got ignored, and nobody referred to it again, except for the accountant once in a while when they said why we haven't managed to do what we thought we were going to do. But if a business plan is done well, it's not the document that's important, but the process of actually preparing the plan. So going through and thinking about what do you want to achieve in the whole business, but also in the next year, that's vital, because if you don't know where you're going, then it really doesn't matter what you're doing, because you're going to end up somewhere. It just may not be where you want to be. So actually having that vision where you want to go, critically looking at your business to say, what are my strengths and weaknesses? What can I do? What do I need to get help with? And, what are the outside opportunities or threats that may come in? I mean, nobody expected COVID to happen. But, now that we know there's these things that could derail our business, let's think about, if that happened, what do we do? So having that thought process will allow you to know your business very well inside out, but it will also give you a direction that allows you to go where you want your business to go. And when you know where you want your business to go, it's easy to devise the steps that you need to take to get your business to that point. And once you've got those steps devised, you've got a plan, you've got an action plan, which then translates to a to-do list, which means that when you get up in the morning, you're not thinking, what on earth am I going to do in my day? You've got your list there and you just get on and do it. So for us, planning is the biggest thing that is important in business. And if you may need a business plan for the bank or for funding or for, a grant that you've got, in which case you will need to format it in the way that they need to see it. But if it's just for yourself, you can do it on a, pictogram, if that's what works for you. Any way that works that you can see, put it up on the board. What you can't see is that I'm looking at ours on the wall in front of us. We've got a personal one for one of our members of staff on the wall behind us. So we've got plans all over, stuck on the wall so that we can see them. And we know we're coming in the morning. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But the key is to actually document that plan and not just have this idea in your head, isn't it? To actually get it out on paper or out on a whiteboard or something on the wall.
Absolutely.
To visually see it and actually work with it.
Absolutely. Getting it down on a piece of paper and being able to refer to that constantly is very important, because it's easy for us there's two reasons for doing that. The first is your brain is a finite muscle. So if you're storing stuff in your brain, it can't use that part of the brain to be creative. So it needs, once you've got it out of your brain, it can forget it and you can start thinking, about how to do it. So that's the first thing, get it out of your brain, get it written down. But the second thing is, and I've forgotten what I was going to say, is that once, it's very easy for us to lie to ourselves or to say, yes, we're going to do that. But actually, you don't remember until 4:00 and then it's too late. So actually having it written down means that you can't lie to yourself, but also you can share it. So you can share it with your team. You can share it with your coach if you've got one. You can share it with the bank manager. You can share it with your customers and your suppliers if that's appropriate. And you can share it with anybody else there who wants to help.
Yeah, that's good. And to get critique or even further injection of ideas or energy, I'm assuming is a positive thing, isn't it? Into the actual plan and just having a sounding board like yourselves to actually, hold you accountable to it as well.
Once you've written down a plan, we often find that when somebody's looking at their plan and they're saying, I want to do this sort of turnover, when they actually break that down into actions, they realize that turnover is too small. So we're encouraging people to push quicker, because they can get to there very easily. So, okay, what's the next big step? And then we can ask them, just to aim a little higher, so that they don't miss out on things.
Yeah, brilliant. And that's part of their growth journey as well, which, everybody in business, well, most people I know of want to grow. So, I think having a plan is essential as well. And I liken it sometimes to drive into Scotland. You're not just going to get in the car and just drive. You are going to look at where you're going on a map or on a Google or on the sat nav or something. And then, driving, just getting in and doing it. And then,
and
learning from the journey.
from where we are going north rather than south, which may get you there eventually, but it will take a lot longer.
Yeah, we definitely want to be going north in business as well, not south, don't we? So, but brilliant.
We are. And the other thing that having a plan allows you to do is to ignore those shiny objects that appear so often in business, because you can say, yeah, that's great, and I want to do that. It doesn't fit my plan for this quarter. I'm going to put it on the plan for next quarter. So you're still able to investigate and keep those shiny objects that turn up, but actually, you know, you're not going to be darting all over looking at them. So.
Yeah, brilliant. I love a shiny object, in case you hadn't realised, Angela. So, you know, so some people say, oh, look at this. You think, yeah, okay, and off you go. But the importance of the plan actually holds you accountable to A, what your initial vision is, B, you know, what you're looking to achieve, and C, you know, you're quite right. That could be part of a future plan. So it's a really valid point of view there as well, and great that you've raised that. So. Talking about your own startup businesses in the past, or obviously you've run businesses and things like that. How did you find it when you started out?
Yeah. Well, I started an accountancy practice when my children went to secondary school, because I had the time then. And it grew fairly organically to the point where I needed to bring somebody else in to help me with it. And that was a fairly nice journey. I mean, there's a lot of learnings because you know, with accountants, compliance changes every so often, tax changes a lot, so there's a lot of learning with it. But it was, people know what accountant does, and they either need one or they don't, and so, you know, that was a fairly easy sale, to be honest with you. Coming into a business where people don't really know what it is you do has been a different journey. It's had, and actually working with my life partner, with my husband, has been a different journey again, because I was on my own with the accountancy practice. So, yeah, it's been interesting. There's been some incredible highs, but there's also been some areas that I won't want to repeat. So, yeah, it's a bit of a roller coaster, this journey. And I think that sums it up, really. So, yeah, but as long as the overall destination trajectory is going up, we're happy, even if there is a few, you know, exciting moments on the way.
Yeah, we've all had them. I remember once we had an embroidery company for a good 6-7 years, and I think everyone says year 3 was the challenging year to get past, and it was actually year 4 for us. We lost a third of our turnover overnight. With one of our main clients he went bust on us, and all of a sudden we're like, how are we going to replace this turnover? And I remember saying to another business owner, oh my gosh, you know, the world's ending, you know, everything's really bad. And they said to me, what was your first month's sales? I went, well, I know that figure. It's £356.81. He said, what's your turnover now? So I told him, and he said, well, why are you complaining? Just go out and do what you did on day one or month one, and keep repeating that exercise. And it fired me back up, because you're right. You do get those down moments. You do get those challenges, and it's how you overcome them, which is the important thing. But those words will live with me forever, as well as those first ever month sales of £356.81. So
it's great that you could actually remember that exact figure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'll never
it is
forget it.
That first sale, you know, that you make in a new business is just such an amazing experience. If we could bottle that and keep, you know, using it throughout our journey when things get tough, I think that's what we need to do. So,
you know what, I'm going to put that in my future plan. I think I'm going to bottle those emotional highs that we all have. And actually, one of the things I started this year was actually writing down a positive of every day and put it on my calendar. So even if I was having a bit of a challenging day the next day, I could actually look back and think, well, actually, yesterday was a really good day, and that was my main positive, and it corrected me and corrected my mindset to think, well, actually, you know, just seeing what we've achieved on a daily basis. And, you know, January, February, March was, we're absolutely flying this year. And then I stopped doing it in April, and you see a slight dip in things. But
I wonder what you did differently.
In April, I stopped writing it on my calendar. That's what it came down to.
Yeah.
But I think self-accountability helps, but also, as I said, having someone externally is key to just duck in for that moment and have that sounding board. It's great that you guys can offer that as well. So
and gratitude is one of our 14 points of culture. So being grateful for what we've got and actually acknowledging the greatness in every day is, I think, really very important. So well done for writing that down.
Now let's talk about business coaches, because people are very much sometimes they're nervous of having that external person coming in, or they feel that they don't want the accountability, or they just cannot be coached. Let's be fair, there are people out there like that as well. But what would you say to anybody that's a little bit skeptical about bringing someone externally into the business to overcome that objection?
You need to find somebody you can work with. But if you look at sports, we take a sports analogy, all of the Olympiads have not just one but many coaches, whereas those people who are running a 10K for the first time or something are probably not. They probably haven't, but you can see the difference in the results you get. So if you are happy with your business at the level it's at, you don't need a coach. If you want to change something and you are not able to do that on your own, you need somebody coming in outside to look at what you're doing, whether that's in a group program or individually, and just to sort of like keep you back on track, to see the potential in you that you may not see in yourself. And that's one of the things that we do try to do with our clients, is actually to, hold the faith when they haven't got it, because we know they can run that 100 meters faster than they did last time. We know that they can get over that high jump. Say whatever it is, we can hold that faith for them. But it is important you find somebody you can work with. So there's Rupert and I, we're both coaches, but if you don't like either of us, we know a lot of other coaches. So we can find somebody who you can work with, whoever you are. There are a few people who are uncoachable. That's their,
it's their makeup, isn't it? I've met them through the business networks. We've seen them over the years. They're very much like, I know what I'm doing. I can be guilty of it myself sometimes. We're all looking at it and thinking, do you know what? We don't need to be told. We don't need to have a sounding board. We know what we're doing. But, sometimes, serious people that actually do want to grow do need to bring a coaching board.
Look at the results. When you look at the big entrepreneurs, the big names, they've all got coaches. They've all got maybe 2 or 3 different coaches for different things. So, successful people have coaches.
Angela, thank you for getting involved. Thank you for all your support as well with NN Startup Day as well. And, keep up the good work. Keep up all the hard work that you do as well, because a coach doesn't always just listen to its clients and work with the clients. You're also having to continually grow yourselves, aren't you, to be able to add that value to
we are running our own business at the same time. So, yes.
Great you could join us today, and thanks for all your support.
No problem. Thank you, Simon.
That was Angela Turton from Action Coach Oakham and Kettering, and Angela joined me on NN Startup Day earlier this year when we held the day to really talk about starting a business and what it's like to start a business. Of course, the importance of business planning, which you've just heard from Angela. But hey, listen, thanks for joining me. Thanks for getting involved and staying with me throughout the hour. It's been brilliant to be able to pull this podcast together, and look forward to launching more in the future. We are really wanting to get news out there about what's going on locally within the business community, within charities, within organisations here in Northamptonshire. So if you've got a story you want to share with us, please do get in contact with me. Drop us an email, hello@nmbn.co.uk, and let's get you on the podcast. Let's get sharing your news. Let's get people listening about you and what you get up to. Thanks for joining me, and catch up soon.